evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are, Monday, the 4th of August, 2025. I'm back from vacation. I hope you saw the weekend videos. And today was an interesting day, recovery day in stock indices. That's basically what you had going on during the day. You saw Tesla came back a little bit. They liked the fact that Elon Musk going to get somewhere between $26 and $30 billion worth of stock. There are caveats. He's got to stay around to 2027. Maybe some numbers have to be hit. And it a lot depends on that law case that is still going on over his pay. But they're working to keep him, and I think that's the right thing. On a big update, you couldn't even lift the Amazon again. You did get a bounce finally in Netflix. It's a one-day bounce. We'll see if it can build on it. So far, it hasn't been able to. You're starting to get, I think, action where you're bottoming out in Uber one more time. Metal markets had a nice rally today. Microsoft up $11. You're still hanging in uranium around the $40 mark. You know, it's been very quiet, but hanging in there, and that's good action. Starbucks, okay, you came down pretty hard. You gained on the day a little bit, but they've got to still prove their business. I think they're a ways off. I like Restoration Hardware, still acting good. I like Wayfair, still acting good to me. I don't like AMC at all. Where were we on NVIDIA? NVIDIA up $6 today, pushing now the 180 level. You know, this is just a stock that gradually is trying to make its way to the $200 mark. Now, in terms of news tomorrow, let's go to that. And what we've got is the U.S. trade balance. That's going to come out at 7:30. Red Book Group will release the weekly retail sales, 755. They've been running near 5%. S&P Global, their final July service sector PMI at 845. I'm not looking for any big changes there. The ISM is going to release their July service sector index, and then we get the API numbers 3:30 in the afternoon, and of course more earnings. We had the massive earnings over the past 2 weeks, and now they're rolling out. Palantir did extremely well, and they went up in the aftermarket. You're just not doing well in all the companies. And, you know, some of them come up with great numbers like Boeing had done, and boom, they pull the bottom on it temporarily. Okay, that's what you do. What are we going to see in the month of August is the big question, because August is notorious for not being one of the better months of the year. And this has been a big bull market. Does this market start, if you will, using August as a consolidation to get into the fall months and begin a year-end rally? I happen to think that is very much in the cards. We have yet to see the impact of tariffs. We have yet to get the Fed fund to make the cut, yet you're back into the 90 percentile now for a September cut. That's what the CME FedWatch page is starting to show. You're up into the 60 percentile, 66% September. You're even getting a better than 50-50 shot for a December. So these numbers will change around. Just because they say that today doesn't mean they'll say that tomorrow. Everything's going to be dependent on the labor market. Inflation hasn't been the problem. I still think you're going to see some inflation show up as these tariffs work their way through. You know, August 7th is when what's in place comes there. I know Brazil has said, oh, they're still working with the Trump administration. What are they working at? What they're trying to do there isn't helping their case any. India is going to continue, by the way, buying Russian oil, they said, and the heck with Trump. We'll see. And, you know, we're not trying to alienate them. We're trying to say we're going to punish Russia, we being the U.S., if Russia doesn't do something to start ending this war with Ukraine. So we will see where it all goes. As for the Chinese deal with the U.S., it's sounding more and more like an extension is very, very realistic. I'm looking at Toast, and you know how friendly I am this market, because I think their technology in America, it's been around in Europe, in Asia, but in America is now really grabbing hold. I just go into restaurants, I see more and more people holding devices, taking your orders, putting it in, and you pay right at the table. That is so much nicer than it used to be. It's more efficient, and you get things done. Watch out. This is the high. What the market did is it pulled back, and in the process, you set up lower highs, lower lows. In order to negate this bit of a downtrend, you've got to take out this high here of 49.54. The break found excellent support at the 18-day average of closes. So the biases stayed up, and the market gave you a correction, just like back here, where it held very nicely at the beginning of July, that 18-day average before moving forward. When you take a look at Bollinger Bands, you're not near it yet, but if you do go up 50, 58, it'll be a little higher number tomorrow, but that could be the resistance point. And now the question is, after having lost, and I want to make this clear, you did lose the embedded reading. Here you are with the market having it. You went down, you hit it the same day you lost it, which is unusual, but it happens. And then the market comes roaring right back. So it's completed the correction. It's overbought right now, and it immediately put both numbers back up over 80. If you get 2 more days of over 80, you're back to what we call the embedded reading, and that could be very powerful on the upside. In Netflix, you still haven't gotten traction to the upside. The market continues to have lower breaks and so far lower highs. Now the key is, can you get up here and take out this, and let's get to the exact number so you can see it. I can't see it myself either. Here it is. That number was 1184.85. So if you can take that out, you get a more interesting market that maybe you're bottoming. But for me to get excited about telling clients, hey, I think the worst is over, I need to see the red line close over 21. When that happens, I'll be saying that. In Dash, new highs on the move. And again, this is a company that I think has a good sideways action base, and it's trying to move higher from here. But I teach you, I recommend, doesn't mean you can't do it. I tell clients never to buy fresh over a Bollinger Band or sell short under a band. I find that that is not the best thing for your financial health. In Google, the market, just like we saw on the other stock, fell back, challenged the 18-day average like in toast, and came right back up. So interesting, a one-day correction, looks like it. In Starbucks, I just don't like what I'm seeing here. You stepped out of the upper band, you stopped out of the lower band, you're back in, but where are you going in the process? You're basically just ripping people up. I don't see anything that makes sense there. Robinhood, before I left, I said, I think we're going to get a break, and you had it on Friday down to the lower Bollinger Band. It's recouped already the 18-day average. I'd like to see more congestion in the sideways action because I do think Robinhood has more upside to it. In Tesla, the good news is Tesla's trying to get the attention of and keep the attention of Elon Musk. And of course, you'll say, how much money does this guy make? It doesn't matter. He built the company, he hit the numbers, he did the product. I just saw it in China, the sales were down another 8.4%. So the car's not doing that well, but it's not just cars. He's got robots, he's got all kinds of things involved in this. So you want to pay attention into the AI. And of course, we're hearing zero about his self-driving taxis. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that and how they're doing. I know it's a learning process. I did see that he lost a case over the weekend for $245 million. When I say he, I'm saying Tesla, on a car with the autonomous driving on that hurt somebody. You've got the higher low, higher high, and you're coming up here. And by the way, generally those verdicts, when you hear the award, they get contested. XLF, higher high, lower low. How fast did that happen in the financials? From a contract highs, all-time highs, coming right back down, and hard from 53 into the 51. It was, when I say hard, 7-8%. Does it really do anything? On the chart, it looks exciting, but that's not a big move in stocks. XLI did the same thing. You basically went from the 154 level down to the 148 level, and you're trying to come back up. This is still not bullish action. This isn't bullish action on this chart either. So as exciting as today was because of an update, how much of it is just a reaction because you had a strong day on Friday down. You know, big Mondays often lead to Tuesday reversals, so be a bit cautious. That's the Yale Hirsch Trader's Almanac. XLF from upper Bollinger Band to lower. These are very big moves in no time at all that happen there. Let's get to the next chart. We've got XLI, same thing. So this was a flash correction, a minor one, if I said it enough times, but it did its thing, and now the question is, what does it do next, which is hard to tell right here. You just missed the upper band, but in XLE, you got back down to the 100-day average. Notice this market hasn't hit a Bollinger Band since June. What it's been playing at is using the support level of the 100-day average as that and able to climb back to the 18. But do you see a trend here? I don't. You have a higher high and a lower low in an oversold market. In the gold market, like all the other markets, you went from the upper Bollinger Band to the lower while I was gone, and now the market's got upside momentum one more time. So the correction took place. Now the question is, what's the next play? When you get these type of actions, they're difficult. I'm not going to say that about silver. It's in a minor downtrend right now. It is oversold. I see resistance at 34.55. In order to negate this downtrend, you'd have to take out 34.78. In the copper, you've gone from the upper to the lower band, and like the silver, I see resistance on the way back up at the 18-day average, but it is an oversold market. BND, TLT, they're running the upper band. You've got the Gorilla Glue trade, and you're trying to force an embedded reading as the market is piling in, if you will, trying to get ahead of itself, or maybe ahead of the market might be a better word, that interest rates are going to be falling in the future, and these markets are responding to them. In the dollar, we had that big rally. What did you stay over the 100-day average on its first challenge? 2 business days, and you're right back under it, and momentum turning down. Where's the trend? I don't see one. I see a higher high and a lower low pattern, and that's all that I see on this. FXE, the flip-flop of the dollar, the mirror reverse, and maybe we get to the 18-day average to fight a battle, but I can't make a trade decision and tell you, hey, this is going that way or the other. I think you're in a state of flux right now, and I think you take advantage of that, waiting for markets to come with you. You join me, and we'll analyze them each and every morning. If you want, come and join me on my research. All you got to do is click the icons that you see above us. They'll take you into the research area that we do, and that's where you need, and you'll get from us a user ID and a password, because that is where I'm able to say, buy here, sell there, do this, hey, I'm wrong, hey, I'm right, look at what it's doing. And I think you might like the way that we go about it. It is as much long-term trading. I'm still in the video from 2023 to give you an idea in terms of recommendations. Boeing, probably a year-old recommendations, buying on the big break when nobody wanted it. And shorter term that we've been coming in and out of as the market is now giving us new plays. So it gets rather exciting. Do you have to take the trades? No. Do I explain them from beginning to end? Yes. Do I teach you how to peel out and peel into trades? Yes. So if you're looking for something from a trader from that point of view, I think I'm your guy. Give that a click. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a great evening. I'll catch up with you in the other videos, and of course, in the morning video tomorrow. Have a great night.